Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you 5 ways to be less insecure. Since I have my exams, I'm just going to make this video super quick and easy to follow. Insecurities stem from jealousy and not feeling enough for yourself, so that you have to put yourself down for anything that makes you who you are. Being insecure really just ruins your self-confidence, and it can be really detrimental. If you're an insecure person, you're going to become less advantaged compared to the people that see themselves and value themselves. So my first point is, don't see people as a competition. Comparison will literally kill your self-confidence because you're constantly comparing someone's lifestyle, their appearance, or literally their personality to your own, which doesn't make any sense because you two are obviously different people and you grew up in a different environment, you had different experiences. I don't really tend to compare myself to people as much as I used to. If I do catch myself comparing my own life to someone I see on social media, most of the time I don't try to think of it in a negative way, and I learned this to think of someone as maybe someone that you admire, but don't put them on a pedestal obviously, but see them as something that you can learn or grow from. So for example, if I see someone on social media with really nice style, then I'm going to look up to them and be like, I really admire this style. I'm not going to copy it, but I'm not going to be jealous of it. There's a big difference between comparing someone's lifestyle to admiring them and just being grateful for who they are. I always remind myself, how can I learn from them? You will never win the battle if you see yourself in a competition or you see others as competitors, because people are not the same. You're never going to become just like someone else. If you constantly see other people as competition, you're always going to believe that you're not good enough and you're always going to try to become better, which is an amazing thing. But to drive your need to become better shouldn't be rooted in competition. Your drive to become better should be rooted in your own self-improvement journey and your need to become better because you want to become a better person for yourself and those around you. My second point is that everyone is different. And this kind of ties in with the first point, but what I'm trying to say is you can't compare anyone because you don't know what they've been through, especially on social media. As an example, you don't know these people's lives, you don't know what they're going through because everything seems so positive online. And even in school or just like people in real life, you don't really know what they're going through because most of the time people can easily mask the things that are difficult. As well as this, you don't know their social status as well, and you don't know that the environment they grew up in maybe made them more fortunate compared to who you were. And what I'm trying to also say is, don't ever be jealous of something that you can't obtain. You can't even compare me to like a European person because we're not the same race, we didn't grow up in the same household, we didn't grow up with similar values. Another quote is from Anna Paul, that every single person is beautiful, no matter if you realize it or not. So what she says is kind of like roses are beautiful and also lilies are beautiful, but you can't really compare them because they're not the same type of flower. And also the sky is beautiful, but so is the ocean. So you can't really compare those types of things that aren't the same. And that goes for you and the person that you're jealous of. So when you do compare yourself to someone else, remind yourself that you're not the same person and you're never going to be able to become just like them. You're not being authentic if you're trying to replicate someone's life or replicate someone's lifestyle. So insecurities do stem from not being confident in yourself and trying to become like someone else or comparing yourself to someone else. The third way to become less insecure is always point out your negative self-talk. You have to be honest. Well, if I realize that I have been talking bad about my body or about even my lifestyle and my personality, I'm going to become instantly aware of what I've been saying. And then over that, I'm going to reflect and I'm going to become much more aware of what I have been saying. The thing is, I remind myself when I point out those flaws and the things I'm not very happy with, they aren't going to go away. I remember this quote saying, if you spend so long looking in the mirror, before you know it, your body isn't going to change, but your mindset is going to change. You're going to walk away with the same body, the same face, the same personality, and you're going to walk away from that mirror as the same person. The only thing that is changing is the way that you're thinking about yourself, and I find that quote really liberating and really eye-opening because it does teach me that whatever I'm saying and whatever I'm projecting onto myself, these things are not going to help me become a better person. They're not going to change my life just because I'm speaking negative about myself. These things are only making myself feel worse, and that's why negative self-talk is like the actions that people take, especially when they're insecure. You may not realize it, but you are talking negative about yourself, you're talking down about yourself, you're beating yourself up, sometimes for things that you can't control. Whenever you point out something that is negative about yourself and you're not sure how to fix it, what I would recommend is either just to spend some time by yourself to reflect why you think like this, what can you do to improve it, and maybe like compliment yourself, write down your actual good attributes, and it's going to remind yourself of what a good person you actually are. Firstly, you can't go from speaking negatively to positively. You have to have that gap in between where you realize that you're speaking negatively to be able to speak more positively about yourself. So you're not going to be instantly able to talk positively or even think positively about yourself overnight. It's going to take lots of change and practice. Fourth point is to practice exposure therapy. This topic has been going around quite recently, and exposure therapy is to do things that you usually wouldn't do and to step outside of your comfort zone. And I have to remind myself that embarrassment is literally a choice. Exposure therapy actually builds your confidence, and over time, as you do things that you're not really used to or experiment with things that you're not quite comfortable with, it's going to make you a lot more confident, and your insecurities might not go away, but you're going to build confidence as you go, which will help you deal with your insecurities. I realized that confident people are always the ones that take risks despite knowing the consequences. They're the ones that are adventurous, and they're especially spontaneous. So I try to be more spontaneous in my day-to-day life and just try new things that I usually wouldn't do. So for example, I have been trying new styles of fashion that I wouldn't really wear, and it has made me more confident, and it has made me a lot more happier to be able to experiment and not limit myself to the type of fashion that I usually would use. Another way I've practiced exposure therapy is literally uploading YouTube videos, because last year I wouldn't be able to do this because of how insecure I was, and the people that would bully me and make fun of me for doing the things I liked, like posting on social media and influencing other people. Now I'm trying to implement more exposure therapy into my life, which is being able to just upload videos without caring what other people think. And every now and then, even the dislike gets me really upset, but I managed to power through it and ignore it in the end. You have to remind yourself not to limit yourself, because limiting yourself literally builds insecurities, but challenging yourself and doing new things is going to build your confidence, which will outweigh your insecurities, and this is actually going to help you to be less insecure. The fifth thing is to practice more self-care. This topic is a little bit controversial, especially for a lot of people, because self-care for some people might just be doing makeup and skincare, especially online that you see that quite often. But for me, self-care is actually journaling, reflecting on my thoughts, maybe going for a walk, and honestly just spending time by myself where I'm able to reflect on my thoughts, to fix my negative mindset to a more positive, open mind way of thinking. Practicing self-care helps you to practice how to respect yourself and build boundaries so that you don't cross your own boundaries, and so that others don't make you feel insecure by crossing your boundaries. Being insecure is someone that doesn't know what they want, and they don't know how to stop people from crossing the line and ruining their own self-worth. Becoming less insecure is being able to practice self-care so you're able to build your own confidence in your alone time and be able to become more confident in who you are as a person and what you do. So self-care for a lot of people might just be completing their hobbies. Practicing self-care is going to help you build a better mindset so that people's opinions don't affect you as much, and your own opinions about others don't affect you internally. This is pretty much my short tips to become less insecure. My main takeaway is that the older you get, you're going to become a lot more confident, but the thing is, your insecurities will never go away. They're always going to be there, but the more you learn to accept who you are and the more you practice self-care, exposure therapy, and just building a strong mindset, you're going to be able to overcome these insecurities, and then they're going to become less significant in your everyday life and they won't affect you as much. A little personal message: I just want to let you know that everything that you see is fake. So your perception of everything is literally fake. You don't know what anyone is going through, you don't know what anyone is thinking, so don't ever think that someone is better than you, and don't think that you're any less of a person compared to someone just because you don't have what you want. You don't have to get the things you want to become less insecure. To become less insecure is simply be able to exist in your own body without criticizing yourself. It's not something that really happens overnight. So once you have watched this video, I will leave some quotes and just some statements down below if you want to journal that and put that up in your room somewhere. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was quite quick, but I hope it does help you to become less insecure in your everyday life and just change the way you view your perspective on things.